Hello! So this time I actually did not forget to film the intro, and so this is it. Welcome to my channel, my name is Jakub, and this video will be a makeup tutorial on these eyes. So I share my looks kind of everywhere on the internet, and someone who just saw one of my looks suggested that I come up with an eye look that is inspired by the Rastafarian religion, culture. So what I understand by Rastafarian is the religion that's very popular in Jamaica. I think I'm getting it right with the fact that it's a religion. And if you Google Rastafarian religion or Rastafarianism, the main three colors that feature around the word of Rastafarianism are green, yellow and red. So this look is basically inspired by those three colors, is featuring green, red and yellow. I really love when you guys suggest looks like this, so if you just follow my Instagram or Twitter, you will see the different looks that I upload, or you can obviously see most of them on here on YouTube. If you think that I should do another one, please let me know, but without any further ado, I will just move on with showing you how I did this. So this is the look I'll be doing for you. It is just what you can see basically. It's just red, green and yellow. So I already put concealer under both my eyes because I find it quite weird to just put eyeshadow under my eyes without there being any product, and then I'll be like putting concealer under the eyes anyway to try and like do things, correct it, and then that will disturb the eyeshadow anyway. So I do that first, and this eye of course is bare, and this is where I'll be doing the look for you. With a large brush I'm going to go into Baptism, which is a very pale pink matte shade, and I'm going to go over the entire lid area and all the way to the brow bone. So with the eye set nicely, I'm going to go into Martyr, which is just a brown transition shade, and I'm going to take it on a fluffy brush and just fan that in and around my crease. Winging it out slightly towards the brow bone. Once I've got that done, I'm just going to dip in right next door, and I'm going to use Devil just on the same brush, and I'm going to deepen that crease. Next we're grabbing just a smaller blending brush, and I'm actually going to dip into Stigmata, which is quite a shimmery shade from the Saint and Sinner palette. But all of those shimmers are so good, they actually work as transition shade as well. So I'm just going to put that into the crease, and that's going to be the main red in this eye look. Holy hell, this camera has been giving me it can't even focus. I just can't use it. I'm so bad at it. Anyway, back to the fucking tutorial, because it's been like 15 minutes in between now and like 10 seconds ago that you saw, and I totally fucking forgot what I was doing. I'm pretty sure I was just putting the Kat Von D shade on. Anyway, the next thing I did on this side is actually put some concealer just in the crease, just on my lid, to put the green on top of. And so I'm just going to do that right now. I'm taking just the smallest amount of Shape Tape on a lip brush actually, because I don't think I actually have a concealer brush, but anyway, and I'm just going to try and get it very, very slim and thin, and kind of just shape it, mainly just in the center portion of the crease. But I'm gonna blend things on top of that green anyway, so this doesn't need to be super edgy. Concealer is there just to provide a base for the green, because the green is not extremely opaque, so I'm just making sure that none of my skin or none of the red is actually showing through. So I'm actually just going to use the same fluffy brush that there's still some of that base shade left on to set that concealer, and then I'm just gonna grab the green shade, which is called Exodus, and it's from the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette, of course, because that's the only thing I use, and I'm just gonna use it on my finger to apply it onto the lid. I'm pretty sure this is quite close to the other eye. You can go as much or as little with it, you know, with regards to lid space. Just really whatever you feel like it, because we'll be blending colors on top of it anyway, so it will become a little bit smaller. Right, so this is rare on my channel. This is a very easy look that doesn't require all that many steps. The next thing I did was just grabbed a small brush and I took Relic, the golden shade from the Saint and Sinner palette, and I just went into the inner corner and under my lash line. And I actually painted some of that red up into the crease so we can actually get some of that gold. Did I say red? Just a thin line of that gold in between the red and the green. And now what I'm going to do is take a small, I'm actually going to be using the same lip brush that I just used to apply the concealer with, and I'm going to put more of that red, more of that gold on it, and I'm just going to draw a line just above. So I kind of want the red to go, whew. Why the fuck do I keep saying red? Making sure everything is nice and defined. And I'm actually going to take a packing brush and apply some more of that green on top of it. I'm not really using, well, by really I mean I'm not at all using any wetting spray, because this is a matte shade. It will get fucked up if you use anything wet with it. Okay, so once that is applied, once you've got gold on your under eyes, in the inner corner, and kind of up there and around the green into the crease, what I did as well, as you can see, is I kind of winged out the gold to go just underneath the wing that I've created with the shadow. So this is kind of like an up, like a, instead of a wing going from the upper lash, it's the wing is coming out from the lower lash. And this is a thing that I think Leah, her name is, does from the Kat Von D Artistry Collective. She actually wears eyeliner on her lower lashes in a lot of her looks. It kind of, it does make you like droop down a little bit, but it's a look at it and like it's a statement. It's a look, and I quite like it. So just using the same brush, I'm going to elongate that lower portion of the gold into a little wing. And if you were me right now, you would see that this is quite bare here, and I left it for a reason, is because we're just going to be going in with a deeper red. So there is no deeper red than Stigmata in the Saint and Sinner palette, so I'm actually going to be using Morphe 350, I think. I totally forgot this, the name of this palette, and this is a really deep, not a really deep, but quite a deep red. And I'm going to be using a small tapered brush like this. I've got some, just a little bit pigment on it, and I'm just going to hit that outer corner to deepen things even further. So really, I don't want to go in any further than halfway through the lid. So this is the look nearly completed. What I used as well, and I used a few things from this, I was just playing around. My mum and I just bought this Makeup Revolution blush palette, but it actually has a lot of like shimmery highlights. There's maybe like one blush here. I don't understand why they've called it blush palette. Do you see? Like, this is super shimmery, and I don't know who would like that for their blush. And this is really matte, and yeah, not very flattering as a blush. So I wouldn't wear anything from here as a blush, but these shades, some of these shades are really, really fantastic. So using just the same black brush, the favorite one of mine, I went into this light yellow gold and I highlighted my brow bone with that. Okay, hold the horses. Totally forgot, just as I was going to go into the brow bone, I totally forgot that I did one more thing. If you're an avid watcher of my channel and you've seen any of my earlier videos, you will know this palette that I've said I would throw away, but I just can't really. This is a really cheap palette that has like 30 million shades, and the only shade that I'm missing here is a yellow that I want to really, like a pastel yellow rather than a golden. because from the Rastafari, you know, look, you've got red, green and yellow. I used the golden instead of yellow because it's more glam, but now I want to hit just the outer portion of my transition shade and just to warm and like fire things up a little bit, and I can't really do that with the golden, so I'm just hitting with a very flat fluffy brush. I'm just hitting on the very outer edges of the transition shade. I'm blending in and I'm depositing that red a little bit just to give it more of that tropical vibe, if you like. So now that I've got this kind of yellow going on, now I can actually go in with the white kind of golden shade and highlight my brow bone. This is a really, really beautiful shade. I'm sure you can see just the shine and the pigment that it has. It's just incredible. And then just with the same shade, I'm actually going to enlarge my inner corner as well, because I think the actual golden from the Kat Von D palette would be a little bit too much for this look, would be a little bit too dark to bring in very, like, too close in the inner corner, so that's what I used instead. The last thing I did do is I just used the same fluffy brush with the yellow still on it, just to fluff out and smudge that lower lash line with the golden on it, just to make sure that it's smooth and there are no weird edges going on. Right, so what I'm going to do next is just apply nude waterline pencil. This pencil from Rimmel, I think it's Rimmel, I've used it so much. It's so creamy and it actually is so easy to apply on a waterline. A lot of waterline pencils are just really hard and you have to like warm them up before you can actually leave any mark on the waterline, and this one is just creamy from the go. Next I'm just going to apply some mascara, and I'm not going to show you how I did that, so the next thing I see you will be zoomed out and I will have the full face of makeup on. This is the finished look and I'm very, very happy with it. Oh my god, I always kind of doubt in myself every time I'm doing something new and stuff that I don't really wear on a day-to-day basis, because believe it or not, I don't leave the house like this because I don't have fancy enough things to go to that are not like uber homophobic and that I can wear this to. So every time I do this kind of thing, I'm like, oh my god, this is looking like fucking insane. And I don't usually like wear the full face of makeup with highlighter and bronzer and concealer and, you know, brows done and lipstick. So, you know, I'm doing the eye first, and then everything else on my face is like dull and discolored and just looking, and I'm like this is looking fucking insane and like awful. However, this is looking really, really good every time, and then I then put on like, you know, foundation and bronzer and blush and highlight and a lipstick and everything else. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm really, really happy with this. So enough of me talking, I'm gonna just zoom this in so that you can see the full kind of eye effect. This is finished product, I guess, with the lips as well. So let me just talk you through real quick what I did for the rest of my face. If you follow any of my videos, the rest of my face was my L'Oreal True Match. My bronzer, I actually used the Makeup Revolution palette. I just really wanted to. I used this brown shade. I don't understand why this brown shade, like this one here, why is that in a palette that's called Blush palette? I don't know. So I used that as bronzer, which worked really well. I used the same light golden shade to highlight, and I also used some of that like true gold, which is actually really, really, really insane. Just see there. Just a little bit of that because it's basically like Trophy Wife in intensity from Fenty Beauty, but obviously darker, and yeah, it could totally be used as eyeshadow. I used Kat Von D's liquid lip in shade Lovecraft for my lips, and then I put some more highlight over them with just a brush so that they're nice and shimmery and they reflect things. And that's basically it. This is the look, the entire look. I hope you enjoyed this. if you would like to suggest more looks that I should do, because I love people like suggesting different like inspired looks. Someone suggested what is it, Pretty Little Liars, I think. I've never seen the show, but they suggested like a look from there, so I might look into that. Obviously someone suggested this Rastafarian, which I hope is giving, like, when I tell you, I hope it's giving you Rastafarian vibes. And so yeah, I actually do like hearing from you guys as to what different like looks inspired by what, an idea, a place, you know, a movie, whatever. Just tell me and I will try and do them and come up with a makeup tutorial on them. But without any further talking, I would like to tell you that subscription to my channel is totally optional. However, I would enjoy your support of what I do if you like me, so please do consider that. And the last thing I want to say is that some giveaways in 2018 will definitely be running on my account, and depending on how popular they get, I'm just trying to get some feedback through Twitter right now. There will be a lot coming, so please stay tuned for that. I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you learned something, and I might see you in my next one. Bye!